Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing my October wrap-up. I've read quite a few books this month, quite a few of them rereads, and I'll be going through them briefly. And in two of them I might go into in-depth reviews later on in a different video, but that is not today. So let's get started. Okay, the first books I read this month were the Kanin Chronicles by Hocking. I read this series before when I was much younger, so I don't really remember most of it. And what I'm doing right now, I should let you know, is reading across my bookshelves, because I've noticed I haven't read that many of my books that I own. So I'm reading across them so I can read all of my books. So these were a reread as I'm reading across. They are a sequel series to the Trill series by Hocking. I read the Trill series after this, but I liked these more than the Trill series, like quite a bit more. I gave these a 3 out of 5 stars. They weren't bad, the writing was good, I liked the world building. I'm not a fan of the love triangle she tried to force. Hocking, you don't need the love triangles. They're shit. Bryn was an interesting character. I liked the nuance in it. I liked that she wasn't fully supporting the monarchy. She got to a point where she was like, oh, this isn't great. Because I am anti-monarchy on this page. It's a shame I'm reading so many books with queendoms and stuff, because I love them, but also monarchy's the worst. And this is spoilers if you haven't read them. But why did you have to kill off the lesbian character? The one you had. You had to kill her off. Not cool. Not cool. Next I read the Trill series, which is the original series of Hocking's, or a prequel series to the Kanin Chronicles, if you will. I have the second book on, not audiobook, I have the second book on ebook. That's why it's not here, because I didn't want to have to pay $40 for it, and that's what it is in Australia, so not bothering with that. I did not like this. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I hated the love triangle. I hated Finn. He was a little bitch. Oh, I can't be with you, but I'll make out with you and get jealous when any other man nears you. But Judy, I can't be with you. Get fucked. Just leave her alone. Jesus Christ. She was a bit of a brat as well. I'm just gonna put it out there. The war between the Trill and... what was the other one? Forgot it. Anyway, the war between them. Never fully explained. Why are they fighting in the first place? Who knows? Once again, her world building was like okay, but I'd like a bit more history, please. Loki and Tolv for the start of the show. Just putting it out there. Wendy wasn't that interesting. Finn was a little bitch. I stand by that. Alright, 2 out of 5 stars. That's what I'm giving Trill. Next I read Cersei by Madeline Miller. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. At times it was a bit dense, I will say that, but it was a beautiful book. I forgot some of it, but that's just my brain that doesn't work. I've seen a lot of discourse about this, and I think I read Cersei as an unreliable narrator, because I don't think she was completely honest about some things that happened, and I stand by that. The pacing could have been better in this, not gonna lie, but otherwise, like, I loved how Madeline Miller sees Odysseus as like a dick, because I agree. No offense to Odysseus, but manipulative asshole. And you know what? I didn't even need this book to be like, because this meant sure, like, oh, the evil witch lady's not that bad, but I didn't need that. You turn men to pigs for no other reason than you want to. Good for her. Good for her. Next time I read Song of Achilles, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I loved the storytelling in this, I loved the romance, I loved how Madeline Miller told the story, I loved the pacing. I would have loved it even more if she shut up about Achilles' feet. I swear to God, if I had to read one more sentence about how his feet were so perfect, I was gonna throw it. I did love her view of the Iliad and how she interpreted Achilles himself, and Patroclus, is that how you say his name? I'm not sure, please tell me in the comment. I keep forgetting to look it up before I make these videos, and that's on me. This month, I also read Mythology by Edith Hamilton. This is a huge hardcover because they didn't have the paperback. This was my only option. But I loved Edith Hamilton's, I loved the way she told the stories that were easy to digest, and I loved her little comments before the start of each of them, like how she keeps bagging out Ovid. Nothing made me happier. Yeah, they were easy to read without taking away from the myths themselves, and it gave me a clearer understanding of which I only had previously Madeline Miller and Rick Riordan with my knowledge of mythology. So now I know more, which is fun. I like knowing more. Last up this month, I read the Selection series. Now I'm going to split this into two, being the normal series and the ones from Edelin's perspective, because I have very different opinions. Yeah, Selections 1 through 3 were okay. They were fine. I gave them 2 out of 5 stars, purely because, once again, I hated the love triangle, I hated Aspen, he was boring, and America was a bit of a bitch. I'm just putting it out there, America was a bit of a brat. Can someone explain to me why every other country in the world is suddenly a monarchy? Can you explain to me why France went back to a monarchy? Because it did not work for them the first time. You remember how it ended. I don't know why she dragged on the same love triangle for 3 whole books, and how indecisive America was. You'd think she'd make up her mind over 3 books, but evidently not. You know, Maxon was okay. Her dad, though, I loved him. I stand by him. I also had a small issue reading these books. Once again, my anti-monarchy tirade. Is that whenever the rebels were like, we're going to disband the monarchy, we're going to kill people for it, I'm like, good for them. You know what? Go for it. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Alright. Now, on to these 2. Terrible. That's all I have to say. I gave them 1 out of 5 stars. Where do I even start with this? Okay, Edelin was a selfish brat. I was going to swear then. I won't say the word I was going to say. She was a brat. And she was always like, oh, I want to know more about my people. And throughout these 2 books, she talks to them once, and then it's never talked about again. I stan Aaron, I think his name was, for running away with the French princess, because if I could run away with the French princess, I would too. And fuck Edelin. Anyway, Carl deserves better. Lovely man. He deserves better. Now this is spoilers, again. Oh. Her love for Eric came out of nowhere. Like, I could tell he loved her. I could tell that over the course of these 2 books. But suddenly she was like, I'm actually in love with him. And I was like, wow, you've never talked about him in that way before. You were like, I felt a kind of connection, maybe, kind of, not really. And he was nice to you, but that doesn't mean you're in love with him. And the way this was wrapped up in 20 pages. You got the last 20 pages to be like, actually, I'm in love with Eric on national TV, and I'm turning it into a constitutional monarchy. This would have been ended so much better if you could turn it into a democratic republic. Thank you. That's my stance on this. Oh, I hated it. I made myself finish this last night, and I sped read it. Because it was bad. It was just bad. Like, her writing isn't terrible, but it's bad. And she's like, oh, I actually love all these boys. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Once again, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my mini rants about the books I've read this month that were mostly bad. Now I have strong opinions about a lot of them. Tune in next week. I will have more content, and I will be talking about, apparently it's NaNoWriMo. I say it NaNoWriMo, but apparently it's NaNoWriMo. So NaNoWriMo, I'll be doing it. It starts this Sunday. I'm excited. I'm very excited about my novel premise. Alright, thank you. Peace out.